Okay, you guys, welcome to Tuesday's True Life Team Dream Team Chat. Wow, tongue twister. So happy that you guys are all here. I am stoked for tonight, you guys. Two reasons. One, because I love hearing from other leaders in our group, other people, and especially when they have really awesome content to share. Like that is what our group is based on, is this idea of sharing content and just letting each other in on what we're doing inside of our businesses, what's working, maybe what's not working. Like all of that is so valuable. So I love hearing from other leaders. But then the other great part about it is that I love this person, and I know that what she has to share tonight is going to be so informational and so helpful to so many of you guys. And so when she called me and told me she had this stuff to bring to you, I was like, yes, let's do it. So she was going to go live, but I said, let's do it on a True Life Dream Team Chat. And I think that it will be beneficial. So I hope you guys all enjoy. This is Cristy Cook. She is a director in Scented Dreamers and across the True Life page. And so I hope you guys truly enjoy what she has to bring to you. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the box and we'll go through them at the end and answer them. But I'm gonna hand it over to Cristy. So take it away, girlfriend.
Hey guys. Okay, that was really loud. Sorry. So like Brianna said, I'm Cristy Cook. I am a director under Brianna. And I have a really big passion about what I'm about to share with you guys. It's a really big okay, let me back up. So Brianna messaged me saying, if I could share my experience and if I could share how it's been for me as joining Scentsy and my journey and everything. One second, hold on. Okay, there we go. So I wanted to be 100% honest and real, and I didn't want to sugarcoat it because I feel like in the long run, it doesn't benefit anybody to just say, oh my God, come join, everything's so easy, So I wanted to be as real as possible. And this is something that I've done in my business and it has helped tremendously. And I think it would help a lot more people too if I was able to share this out with you guys. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to start by saying one thing. It is going to be a little bit long and there is a lot of math involved. And I am a math person, but I know that sometimes you just look at numbers and your eyes glaze over and it's kind of boring. But I'm going to keep it very, very simple. All of the stuff that I'm talking about is hypothetical. It's not like, I'm not going to give you down to the pennies, nothing like that. Okay. But this is something that I do for my parties, that I do for my business, that I feel like really has made things so much easier. And it also has made it to where I'm not having friction with my family and family money and stuff like that. So a little background information. We are a kind of Dave Ramsey fanatics over here, whereas we do his program, we are 100% all cash in our family. We don't have credit cards. I do have a credit card, but it's emergency only, but it's like somebody has to be dying for us to be using it. But we are 100% cash. And so I have done other direct sales companies before. And that was one thing that was a big turnoff with my husband, was that when I told him that I wanted to do Scentsy, he was just like, oh my gosh, here we go. Because he saw the struggle that I had in the past before we did Dave Ramsey and other companies that, I did a little bit too much. Like, I would put it on the card and then over time, like a couple charges here seem like no big deal, but before you know it, like a whole year's gone by and you just have all of this massive debt. And I'm like, okay, is this even beneficial? Like, is this even, what is it bringing to me? Like, why am I even doing this if I'm not, clearing at least or making something back, So this is why when I first started Scentsy, I said, okay, if I'm doing this, I'm doing it 100% like zero debt. Everybody who orders has to pay me to the penny. I'm not going to be putting any money up front. I made it very clear with, my customers from the very beginning that, if they wanted to do free shipping, local shipping, blah, 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 they would, if they wanted something for example, free shipping, then they would have to wait. They would have to wait until I hit the $500 to get free shipping, or they would have to wait until whatever X amount of date. But I would set that expectation with all of my customers up front and say, hey, if you would like to order directly, go straight to the website. You will have to pay a shipping fee. That's what it is. But if you would like to wait, I'm starting to collect orders for local orders. My projected time to hit this, and I'm telling you guys, in the beginning, my projected date was the entire month, literally, like January 1st. I would say, I'm not submitting this until January 25th, January 26th. Like, it takes me that long. Now, if you guys will like it faster, it would be nice if you guys could share my information to other customers, other people, your friends, your family. Maybe they would like to purchase, and then we can all hit that goal before January 25th, and then we could get free shipping. So that's what I started out doing in the very beginning, is just telling everybody, this is an offer that I can do for you guys. I can be like the middleman of collecting all the orders, and then you guys don't have to pay for shipping. And that really took off. Me being able to tell people, hey, if you tell your sister, your aunt, your cousin, whoever, that we're trying to hit this $500 deadline, then it made it to where people were introducing people into my VIP because they wanted to hurry up and get their stuff. So that helped in the sense of trying to get more referrals. It helped with people wanting to hit that goal faster, to get their stuff faster. And I mean, let's be honest, a lot of them, you say shipping fee and they just run away. But some people in that particular case were willing to wait until I was able to get enough stuff to get it for free. So that's something that I did from the very, very beginning. So as my business grew, then, it became to where I was doing a $500 local party every 3 weeks, and then every 2 weeks, and then every week, and every so often. So it got to the point where people were expecting the free shipping, but it was because they knew that I had, they invited friends and they invited family. And so it made it easier for us to be able to submit those. So that kind of helped bring in more people, but then I also did not pay outright, so I probably can count on my hands. I think I've sent this year, and I talk about this year specifically because I signed up September 2018, but did absolutely nothing with my business until this year. I think I finally kicked it into gear maybe February, when I texted Brianna. I'm like, okay, like I have to do this. Like, what do I do? And I took it from there. So I'm talking, even though I've been here signed on as a Scentsy consultant since 2018, like I did not do anything for my business other than try to, stay current, not active, but current, every 4 months to keep my title. But I technically started February 1st and took off from it. And so when we started, doing stuff, I was like, okay, I am starting to see that I really want all this Scentsy stuff. And me and my husband made a pact. We weren't going to get into debt. So that means I have to really work my business to be able to get a paycheck so that I can afford all the Scentsy goodies that I want. And that's how this all started. So that's the little background story. So besides the whole free shipping part, this is something that I want to share with you guys what I do, but I'm going to start by saying, do not do this every single party. Okay. I don't do this every single party. I don't apply this concept to months that I really am pushing for either a promotion, or I'm pushing for, that's pretty much it. Like either a promotion, or it's just maybe a month. Like for example, in September, October, one of those 2 months, I had a lot of parties that I did that I flipped. So technically, even though, all 4 of those parties hit 1,000, I gave up that PRV. So at the end of the month, my PRV total was pretty low for my average. So I did not do what I'm about to show you guys on those months. So be very strategic. But I want to share with you guys this now, because right now we're still working towards our paycheck for January. And so you're going to start noticing January, February when it's a little bit slower. We do have a new catalog and that's really exciting, but sometimes there's a little bit of a, trying to get people excited about a new catalog. And sometimes those are kind of like the off season. So you have a couple of months where you're like really scrambling to get that PRV. So these are things that you can do so that when you have the busy months that are coming, you can pre-plan ahead of time and say, okay, I'm going to do this maybe 1 or 2 months out of the year or whatever, so that I can be prepared for what's to come. So I'm going to, let me see if it will allow me to share my screen. Is it working? Maybe. Brianna, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah,
and
I made you a host, so it should work now.
Okay. Just let me know when you guys can see my screen. Oops, it's the wrong thing.
It looks like it turned off your camera, Cristy.
Okay, so it's not working. Okay, so that's okay. I'm gonna do it this other way. I planned. Let's just hope my iPad does not die before that. Woo. Okay, so let's turn this around. Let me log in real quick. Okay. So what I'm going to show you guys, here is the main, it's going to be really blurry. Sorry, guys, but you guys don't really need to look at this. Here is the main, here's the main concept, okay? You are going to take one of your local parties, and I would suggest you start planning this out. Don't do this just out of nowhere. Plan this out. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to collect more than $500 worth of local orders. I'm just using so that it's easy math. I'm going to say that you have $710 worth of collections of local orders. These are people who have already paid you. It doesn't matter what your orders are, okay? It's just a total of $710 or more of local orders. And I'll show you guys the other stuff later. What you're gonna do is you are gonna take a hit when it comes to PRV, but here is what we're doing to maximize for your business. And again, do not do this on months that you want to have a high PRV, on months that you're trying to promote. This is, you're going to take a PRV hit. And so don't do this on those months, and don't do this all the time. So you're going to take the $710 and you're going to put into all your information into a party. We're going to take $200 out of the party so that you at least hit $500, which means free shipping. You're going to get $75 of credits, and you're going to have 3 half off items plus a perpetual party reward. Okay. That $200 of the orders, those people are still paying you full price, retail price for the items that you're getting, but you were going to put those into your host credit and into the half off items. So you're going to take, and this is where I'm going to show you. And I'm sorry that it's not working out for showing you other ways, but this is all fake, like a fake thing. Okay. So you're going to put, and this is also kind of going to mess up if you do AMI or AMI or whatever you want to call it, because it is going to not be in the correct business cart, or the correct cart. So you might have to go back and update that. But like I said, you're not doing this all the time. So here is the $500 party. Okay. We're going to take 200 of those. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those things and put them into the retail. Okay. So we're going to pretend like somebody paid money to do the, where did I put this one? Give me 1 second. Where? Okay, so for the host credit, we're gonna add the whatever cart. You know what? I'm just gonna have to show you guys on this paper. It's not gonna work with the computer. Sorry, guys. This is going to make so much more sense on paper. You have the $500 that you're $510 that you have in your party. Okay. We're going to take the $200 and then you would list out everything that would make up the $200. In this case, this particular order, I had, warmers, and then a 6-pack of bars. So I'm going to take each one of these and fill it up until I get the $75. This one turned out to be $76.50 to fill this up. And then it's also going to give me a free light bulb, because once you put in like 3 of these, you have like $1.50 left over. So always use up every single penny of your host credit. Like, I don't care if you just do a light bulb, at least you're paying 95 cents for that light bulb instead of $2. So never leave your host credits, always zero it out. Okay, next thing, we're going to plug in a couple more of these. So one of these is going to be half off. This other one is going to be half off. And the last one's going to be half off. So I have 3 of them. Plus, where did it go? So anyways, you're going to plug all these in. I can't show you on the computer. It would make more sense. But you're going to plug all of these into your host credit and your host rewards. So you're going to get all of this plus a free light bulb. And here's the catch. So these people are paying you with taxes and everything to close as if you put it in like normal. This is what you would normally pay, $761.83. Okay. But now that you took out the $200 from there, you're only paying $627.66. Okay. So you have this $134.17 credit. Okay. This is people who given you cash already. They have decided to wait for the free shipping. This is all local, but you technically could have some of these people be direct shipped. As long as that party reaches the 500 to get the free shipping, that's kind of all that matters. So now this $134 that you have left over, this is where the party planning starts. You're going to take that money and you're going to save it. Okay. You're either going to plan out to do your next scent or warmer of the month, because a lot of the complaints that I get from a lot of people are, man, I wish that I could afford, because I'm just starting out, the scent or the warmer of the month kit. Well, you can, because if you kind of plan ahead, even if you were to do like one, just to do the scent of the month, what is that, like 40 something dollars? So if you have $130, you can fit 3 or 4 months worth of scent of the month subscriptions into that $134 that you're going to save. You could either do that, or 35. Thank you, Michelle. Or take some of that money and save it towards, and this is what I did specifically back in September or August, when I knew that the Bring Back My Bar was going to happen again, because I missed out on the sampler the first time around because I didn't have the money for it. So you already know it's going to be either 100, 102, something like that. You can take that money and set it aside. And now when your Bring Back Your Bar comes, you have that money to get, because guess what's going to happen? All of those people want to smell them. That's another way for you to promote your business, because you have those kits. So scent or warm of the month kit, you can do the Bring Back My Bar. You can purchase other items if you don't. For example, we all know that like the business tools, all the supplies, you don't get PRV back on that. So I try really hard not to ever really use that. But sometimes you need labels, sometimes you need sample bags, custom bags, all of that stuff. That is money that you can pull from that stash to buy that stuff, to make your packaging look better, so that people really like your stuff. They tag you on Instagram, whatever, more customers. Okay. You can also do it for your website fee. You get $10 that you have to pay for your website fee. If you did one of these parties, that $134 can cover a whole month. A whole year of your website fees. Okay. If you like to use the Canvas or the Over or Word app or all of those other apps, you use that $134 to cover those subscriptions. So you can either, you can even leave it back onto your card if you want, or in your Venmo, or however you want to pay, and then just have it take it out. So you know that every single month you don't even have to worry about your website fees. You don't even have to worry about the Canvas fee that's coming out, or the scent and warmer of the month. So if you do the math, you can take that money and put it away. And, if you have to ship out things, if you want to, exactly, reinvest back into your business. So, but this is the way that you do it without having to go into debt. And this has been a huge game changer for me, because I was really starting to doubt myself in the beginning, thinking, how in the heck am I going to afford the scent and warmer of the month? I know that everybody says, well, it's, during your taxes, it's a tax write-off. I totally get that. But if I don't have the money, or if I don't have credit, I can't afford it unless I go and sell something, or unless I wait for my, last month's check to hit for me to be able to buy it. But this is a way that you guys right now, if you're stressing out and you're thinking, how am I going to afford the scent and warmer of the month for January? We still have a couple days left. If you guys have not submitted a local party, and you're not, again, worried about your PRV, or you're not worried about promoting anything like that, I mean, everybody should be, wanting to promote and everything. But if you are at a place where you can spare those $200 PRV, I would do that so that you can take benefit of that money to put towards the scent and warmer of the month for the next month, or whatever other business tools or whatever other ways you want to do it. But I want to offer you guys, there is a little bit of math, there is a little bit of Tetris trying to figure out. And there has been plenty of times where, I've actually done this. And one time I did this for the launch of, and I don't suggest you guys doing this, but I'm going to tell you my story. I decided to do this for the launch of the Jack Skeleton Harvest launch. I had a huge order. I mean, I think I was at like $800 or something like that. And I really wanted the Jack Skeleton, but I had no money to get it. I had no money to get any of the harvest stuff. And so I put my little butt to work, and I was able to raise all this money. And so what I ended up doing is I did all of these these credits and all this stuff, because you can't buy Jack Skeleton with host credits. You can't do the half off. So I was able to kind of plug in my customers' orders into the harvest and stuff to get enough money to be able to afford the limited time offer products. And so you just kind of have to manipulate the numbers a little bit so that you're able to save that money and reinvest it back into your business. And then you don't have to worry about ever putting anything on credit. You don't have to worry about not having something to share with we all know that we can share marketing pictures all we want, but I've sold so many more items from a picture that I took of myself just holding whatever than of a marketing picture. So I feel like this is something that it does take time, and sometimes you'll scratch your head and you're like, oh my gosh, I just spent 2 hours trying to do the math, and all I had to show is, a warmer or whatever. But to me, it's worth it, knowing that at the end of the day, even if I was to walk away from Scentsy right now, I owe zero money. I don't owe anything. The stock that I have is either free or from my rewards or whatever. But I feel like sometimes it's, in the very beginning, especially, it's really hard when you don't have that money to kind of carry over to the next month. And we're just about to hit payday. So it's a really good time for you guys to really think about, every single time I sit down with my payday, because I know that I don't have a credit card. I don't have that to fall back on. I have to sit down and say, okay, what does it take for me to run my business during the holiday? And what does it take to run my business during the non-holiday? So for example, if it takes $200 to run my business on a holiday season, because I'm buying stamps and I'm buying all this stuff, then every single pay period, that's what I'm going to save. And it's just going to go there. Even if I don't spend it all, even if I calculated the scent of the month, everything, if I don't spend it, then it just kind of sits there and it keeps going and keeps going. But at least during the times where maybe your paycheck is coming in and you don't have that $100 because your PRV was crazy, like you didn't make enough PRV for the last month, that's still okay, because you're planning ahead. You're making sure that you have that money saved up for the months that are going to be rough. Because I'm a little worried, because this is technically my first holiday season working Scentsy. So I don't know what it's going to be like January. I don't know what it's going to be like coming up. So for me, I rather plan to have enough money to save for my scent and warmer of the month and all of the other stuff, because while there's a bazillion consultants out there, you know, a lot of them are possibly not going to work their business through the months that are slow. And I want to make sure that I'm going to be there and I'm going to stay consistent so that my customers go, okay, I chose this girl for Christmas and everything, but she's not even here anymore. So there's Cristy, who's been working her business, and I see her posting and I see her doing all this stuff, and she's, even through the slow months, is still there. So this is how I've done this whole month. And I, like I said, I started back in February. And I'm actually really proud that I can, you know, sit here and say, if I truly walk away from Scentsy tomorrow, like I owe zero. And I couldn't say that from any of the other business ventures that I've ever done, because the first thing that I did with business is get into debt, you know? So that's kind of all I have for you guys tonight. Sorry, my laptop and stuff didn't work, so I couldn't really show you how to put it in, but I mean, it's just math. You just, you know, use up whatever you have that is not, of course, not licensed. Use up all like the most expensive items if you want to put them in the half off category or the free credits, but the numbers all kind of work out in the end. You just have to make sure you hit the $500 threshold to get the free shipping so that you're not paying out of pocket. But that's it. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, you can definitely drop your questions down below, and I'm sure Cristy wouldn't mind being messaged or anything if you need help with the math, because I can attest, after attending school with her, she is terrific at math. So don't come to me with your math questions at all. I will lead you astray every time. So math is not my forte. No, but that was great. Thank you so much, Cristy. Really appreciate that. That was a great representation of an option for, I think it's good for new consultants and seasoned consultants alike. And the reality of it is that times do get hard. And Orville, you know, CEO of this company, talks about constantly spend Scentsy money on family, don't spend family money on Scentsy. And that is so important. And I want you guys to really remember that, because that's not just like a, hold on, let me try to fix this. Hold on, I'm going to try to fix the screen real fast. I don't know how.
Well, I'll answer what Mandy said about the whole Scentsy will be my gateway. And I'm saying, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't have debt in other places, but I just choose not to add to it, because I want, you know, it really took a long time for me to convince my husband to even like really let me go and really do this, because he was just like, look what happened the last time that you tried doing this. We had so much debt and you have to put all this money into it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, you're totally right. But this time I really want to do it to where I don't. So I wait until, if, you know, there's never, honestly, like life or death, there's never a warmer that important. There's never a bar that important that can't wait until next month. If it's gone, then it's gone. That means I didn't prepare myself, you know, to get it. I didn't do the math. I didn't work my butt off the month before so that I had the money to do the warmer. And yes, there's stuff that pops up that I'm just like, oh my gosh, do I really want to do this? But that just gives me the motivation to say, okay, like for example, I really wanted to get the Snow Much Love warmer. Okay, I really wanted to get it, but I was like, okay, that's way out of my price range. I really don't want to get it. But because I didn't have the money at that specific point, I was just like, okay, if I sell X amount more, then I'll be able to get one more half off, or I'll be able to afford to where the credits are more than that warmer. And so that's kind of how I motivate myself on the times where it's like, oh my God, I really want this warmer, but what do I do? Like for the child, my husband really wanted that warmer. And I told him, I literally told him I'm not buying it because I didn't put it in my, you know, my budget to buy another warmer for this month. So if you want it, you're going to have to go sell. And he did. He literally called his mom and he called his aunts and whatever, and he never does any of that. And that's when I told him, I'm like, okay, if you want this warmer, in order for me to consider taking it out of my, you know, Scentsy money, then you need to go sell this much. And so, yes, of course, I couldn't use it as like a bundle and save, and I couldn't put it into like the host credit and stuff like that, but it just got it to where at least some of the commission will pay for it next month, and I have a little side money and it'll be fine. So I feel like if you start, it doesn't mean that if you already started with debt now you couldn't, but you can at least plan it out. Like bring back my bar. That's something that I missed out the first time. And I was really like, once I saw everybody have it, I'm like, I have no idea why I didn't plan for it.
Yep. I think that's a good point. And to speak to that, above all of that, what she said about selling for the commissions part of it, to regain it, that should be your first and foremost like goal, right? In Scentsy is to be working to afford warmer of the month, scent of the month, that kind of thing. That's where like her alternative is really great for newer consultants and stuff like that. We're just getting off the ground. But for seasoned consultants, what my recommendation would be, above all else, is to be consistently working your business to provide the PRV to then allow for the commissions for that month. And then, like she said, when you sit down with your paycheck on the 9th, 10th of the month, you can say, I'm allotting this much to my business. I'm setting aside this much percent of the month. Oh, I got paid less, so I can't do warmer of the month. Oh, I'm only putting 50 into my pirate ship account instead of 60 or 40 or whatever. That's when you assess your business supply. So if you, the commission should be what you look at and what you examine. And that should be what, I know Orville says don't spend Scentsy money on, or don't spend family money on Scentsy, but this isn't that, because this is your commissions, and all of this stuff is a business expense, and we all have to reinvest back into our business. Okay. You will always be asked to reinvest back into your business with things that, if you are working your business, pay off. And that's what an investment is. It's putting money forth to get a payback later. Okay. And so warmer of the month, scent of the month, all that stuff, if you are utilizing it in your business intentionally and committing to it with consistency, it will pay off. Every time it will pay off. If you're sending out samples and then following up with your customers, it will pay off. Okay. So let your commissions be the proof of what you've done the month before, and then allow you the opportunity to reinvest in your business and then have extra, right? That is the goal, is to have that money, invest it into your business however you see fit, and then to have extra to spend on your family on whatever you want. Okay. So I think what Cristy shared is awesome. But like she said, it is a very few and far between alternative to actually working your business. And she totally agrees with that. And she said that. And so working your business should be the first priority, and getting that commissions to be able to push back into your business. So I hope that makes sense. Alex, did you want to add anything? My girl.
Yeah, I did want to add something. First of all, I think Cristy did a really great job explaining that all. And if we're talking about being wise about our business expenses, let me give you a little bit of perspective here. I've been doing Scentsy for a little over 5 years now, and I was not always smart with my money. It wasn't actually until the last 2 years or so, when I started paying off credit card debt, unrelated to Scentsy, that I recognized how much smarter I can be with my money. And so since then, I've been making a lot of smarter business moves, and I do the same as Cristy every once in a while. Now, I don't do it as large of a scale, jumping from like a 700 PRV party to like using every bit of the rewards. But here's a bit of perspective, okay? If you are closing orders regularly, you can probably understand that half off credits actually add up really quickly. And so for me, I close out 500 plus PRV parties every week. On Mondays, I close out parties and I work really, really hard to get them to 500 or more. And so right there, you're looking at 4 half off credits, right? And so if I'm just willy-nilly buying things, like that's easily, $50 to $100 every week in half off credits alone. And so a really great just piece of perspective, that's something you can do to make a big impact and not lose, 200 PRV or so, is a $40 warmer, right? Use one of your half off credits and plug in that $40 warmer that your customer wants you to order, and they're paying $20 for it. Then they've given you the 40, right? But then you're closing it out for $20, and then you can use that remaining $20 to grab those customer order bags, the felt samples, the laundry packets, whatever business supplies you're needing. And then you're not spending that money on a half off credit, right? You're losing 40 PRV, but you're gaining $20 in business cash to use, right? And so that is something that I'll do occasionally. I know Bree does it occasionally too. She's like, oh, so-and-so wants to order this. And I'm like, yeah, just use your half off credit, And so that's a really great way to still get your customers what they need, but for you to also save a little bit of your money and utilize that half off credit and spending that $20 or whatever it may be on some other business supplies as well in that same party even, or like Cristy said, just pocketing it and using it for warmer of the month, your pirate ship, your subscriptions, whatever. And so that definitely is something I do, especially like if I have people come and buy bars on hand, say they buy a 6-pack of bars, I might not, sometimes I do, but sometimes I might not put that $30, the $32.48 back in as PRV. Sometimes I'm like, oh, cool. Like now I can use my half off, like my half off credits. I'm going to eat with that on hand cash, or with that $30 I just got, I'm going to get some business supplies, or I'm going to grab some breakfast while I'm out delivering orders, right? And so I think that this was really good perspective, because money is a tough topic, and also sometimes like it takes a long time for you to learn how to manage money, and a lot of trial and error. So I think this was a really great topic to talk on, especially getting into the holidays where we're needing to buy family gifts and spend time with our family and spend money on our family. I think it's super important that we kind of had this conversation. I do want to agree that it shouldn't be something that you do all the time, like with every single order, just because it can get confusing and mess up your Amy app. And but it is definitely something that if you are strapped for cash and you need some business supplies or whatever, it's a really great option. So yeah, I thought that was really good, Cristy. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I think that was super helpful.
If anybody has any other questions, drop them below. I'm going to stop recording.